Inside Parati. Hello, Mzansi. Welcome back to my channel. This is, of course, Mzansi Unfiltered. How are you doing? How is everything? And let me know in the comment section that you're inside Parati within. We had sound issues yesterday, so I'm hoping today we are going to be doing better. If you're in this live, you obviously saw the thumbnail, you obviously saw the title. We are here to talk about absolutely not Absalom Zungu, absolutely Gininda. Is Gininda the mastermind? Why does Gininda like to meet people in parking lots, in open areas? Is he claustrophobic? Join me as we break this down. And then we also have Zungunizer, okay? Kubuzo Zungu, Sizwe Zungu is one and the same person, okay? We have our live today, and then who is the mastermind? Who is the mastermind? Okay, now we're going to break down all these topics. I hope we'll have enough time to cover them all. So let's go ahead and get started. You already know how we roll. First things first, sound check. Sound check. Do you hear me okay, loud and clear? Drop a one in the comment section if you can hear Mzansi Unfiltered, okay? I was expecting to hear you guys say you can hear me, but then again, we're not on a group call. So let me see some of the comments. Let's start with G. G says Parati inside. Thank you for joining the live before I press the live button. I absolutely love that. It's so encouraging because sometimes I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, will we have time? Is anyone going to show up? So anytime I arrive and I find comments already there, it's always like, okay, let's do this. Okay. Next comment says, I am so happy. Break it down to me. What are you happy about? Are you happy Mzansi Unfiltered is here? Are you happy Absalom Zungu? What exactly are you happy about? Tell me. Break it down. I just need to get my other phone. Need to have this phone right here. And then the next comment, is from Tapita, and he says, Singena ngevosho party. Welcome. Thank you. And let's do it. And then the next comment says, okay, you guys can hear me. Yay. I was thinking that we've got sound issues like we did yesterday, but I think I know what I did. I think it was a me problem. I think I was talking too close to the mic. So today, because I went back to listen to the live and I went back to check what I did wrong, and I think I placed the mic too close to me. So today I'm consciously making sure I don't put the mic inside Parati my mouth. So, okay. Oh, wow. We have, okay. Hold the line. Where is my comment? Why is my comment not showing? There it is. And Ubushe says, hi. Oh, he is the master chef. But now the cooking went wrong and he will be arrested for deleting the ends of justice. Let's talk about this for a quick second. So he's the master chef. I imagine you mean Gininda. And I think I remember from the last time, okay, when they went on recess forever and ever, when Umisi Wemvula was reading the 60,000 pages. That is when the state took the time to go through the record, to go through the photo albums and look through even deleted photos. They had so much time on their hands. They were looking at deleted photos. And when they looked through those deleted photos, they said, oh my goodness, this is the day, okay? This is it. These are the photos. We're going to add an extra exhibit to the court and we'll bring it to court and surprise the accused. And that's where we saw accused number 3 say, gold tooth, hold the line. We do not have this evidence, and so on and so on. And that's when accused number 3 requested to go to the dentist to go prove, listen, I've never had this gold tooth that is being placed or edited on me or photoshopped, whichever way you look at it. So then what happened next is then that's the evidence of the state, and then the state also says, oh, we have another surprise. We're also bringing you, we did subpoena ENCA, and we made them bring a video clip of 34 seconds which shows Ulongwe Twala to dispute the version of the late advocate Chineni Joshua Ngumezulu, who said that Longwe Twala pew-pewed himself in the ankle, and there is no way that they would have this video that shows him walking perfectly fine. So that is the version of the state. Now, let's talk about the version of the members of the public jury, okay? Because this is neither state or defense. Well, it is part of the state case. The state case is heavily based on a family. They are the Zungus, okay? Zungunizer, as I call him, but you know what? Because we're going to be talking about Zungu Senior, so I'm going to refer to him as Ubabu Absalom Zungu, okay? He apparently went all the way to Pretoria to meet with Gininda, sat with him in an office. They wrote an affidavit, and that is the affidavit inside the courtroom, but he has never come to court to speak for himself. That is where we are right now. I did about 3 videos. This video is in isiZulu. It's brought to us by the Daily Sun. Credit goes, of course, to the real masterminds, that is Team Patricia Mashale and Njab and the journalist. Speaking of journalists, we know that the Sunday World stole the story and ran to release it yesterday because I don't know if they're now a YouTube channel and they're rushing for views and clicks and likes. I don't know what that was about, but they didn't just steal the idea or the concept. No, they went to back it up. So this is what I imagine. Okay, this is unverified. This is alleged. So I imagine they went all the way like to the Newcastle police station, and they got there and they said, "Do you have a statement from a man called Absalom Zungu? He did the statement yesterday. Can you check? I want to see that statement." And you know how it is, okay? Kwananzi has told us that there's a lot of connections inside the connections. So somebody in the police station said, "Okay, we'll give you the statement. You just got to slip me, a bill or 12. I don't know. I'm alleging, okay? I don't know how they got a hold of the statement because they were not party inside of the initial deposition of the statement." So the Sunday World took the statement. Not only did they take the statement, they then released the article. And then after they released the article, you're not going to believe this. Patricia Mashale is not a petty person. She's not a person chasing clout. She's not a person who would have seen the article and said, "You know what, Sunday World or not." No, Patricia Mashale shared it. I saw it from Patricia Mashale's Twitter account, I think. And as I was reading it, because anytime you hear me reading on my videos, I haven't read it before. I read it and I'm reacting as I'm recording. As I was reading it, I realized, no, this is not the OG journalist. This is a captured journalist. This is a journalist who took the story. Imagine being a journalist. Imagine being a whole journalist, and then you sit and listen in on people's lives, and then you take information, and then you go to do the research. But how many times have the members of the public jury, not just on this channel, every channel, okay, guys, mention the channels in the comment section down below. Gwazi, Clinton, Noni, Patricia Mashale. Did I forget anyone? I don't think I forgot anyone. If I did, please don't sue me, okay? So anyway, so Patricia, all these channels, in all these comment sections, the Daily Fix, okay? In all these comment sections, you know what? Even the SABC news channel, when they're live comment section, people have been screaming and jumping up and down like their shoes are pinching them in the comment section and screaming that Absalom Zungu. How many times? And that journalist never took the opportunity to go find Absalom Zungu himself. No effort, 0 effort at all. Now let's take a few steps back. How exactly did Jobs get in touch with Absalom Zungu? If you don't already know, Jobs has a TikTok account, and that TikTok account is called, what is it called? Jobs Gaza Nation or Gaza Nation. I'm not too sure, okay? I go to TikTok like once a month. So excuse me if I'm not using the right terminology. So Jobs does, I imagine he does lives and he posts a lot of videos over there with regards to the SENZO MEYIWA trial. And then he probably posted a video about Absalom Zungu. Guys, how many Absaloms do you know? Imagine you being one of the grandkids or the children of Absalom Zungu. You are there on the TikTok scrolling, because TikTok culture is all about scrolling, right? Yeah, they're scrolling, and then you see Zungu. Of course, if you're a Zungu, you'd identify with Zungu, right? You want to know what's going on, and then you hear, wait, that's my father. Wait, that's my grandfather. Wait, that's my uncle. So these young relatives of Absalom Zungu who heard this went and took the videos to Absalom Zungu. He saw the videos, he couldn't believe what he was hearing. And then he says, listen, tell TikTok, because he doesn't know that TikTok is an app. So he referred to Unjabs as TikTok. He says, tell TikTok, I didn't do it. That's not my statement. I never wrote a statement, and so on and so on. So they probably started communicating in the background. Jobs came here to the YouTube streets while on Patricia Mashale's channel and informed us that he is in communication with Absalom Zungu. Okay? Jiggy Jiggy Sunday comes along. Okay? You know what happened on Sunday. I don't need to tell you. Okay? There was a whole combat style. Okay? A whole KZN police commissioner from his tiny little corner of KZN decided, you know what? Tungisani, okay, please sew my combat uniform, according to Paul O'Sullivan, because he had no idea that General, okay, Lieutenant General Ihanda Kwanazi had been or is or was, whichever phrase you want to use, a member of the South African Special Task Force. He had no idea, okay? He had no idea he was part of it. And that's why he's got the uniform. And now Mkwanazi was not just part of it, okay? He was highly ranked in the special task force. Do you know how special you have to be to become special in the task force? So don't quote my numbers, okay? Don't quote my numbers. That anything I say on my channel, this is an entertainment channel. That's why I do the recordings in the style that I do. It is for entertainment purposes, okay? Sometimes I'll get things wrong. Sometimes I'll mix things up. It's just for entertainment. If you guys want to get accurate information, hit up Google and verify. Go to the verified sources, okay? So I don't know. So let's just pick a number from a hat. Let's say 50,000 applicants apply to become part of this special unit, okay? This task force. Newsflash, Gininda is not a part of the task force, okay? Just wanted to put that out there for context sake. Anyway, 50,000 people, they apply to be in this special task force. They go through the training. At the end of the training, there's only like, I don't know, 10 people. No, that's a small number. Let's say 20 people. Only 20 people are left per anytime they do this intake process, okay? I just want you to see how tough this process is. And then, not only that, he didn't just make the intake, he then exceeded expectations, okay? Because he's a born leader, okay? He's born for this. This is his realm, okay? Shout out to all the people during elections who wanted him to become the police minister. I am so happy he did not become the police minister because I think his role is in the streets, okay? I think his role is getting his hands dirty in the streets. I saw another video, I think it's TikTok, and he was like, no, anytime Umkwanazi is solving a crime, you know, people were unalived, okay? People are unaliving. He's not even bothering to take the criminals over there to the justice system because, you know, the justice system is kind of infiltrated. No, he is literally saying pew, pew, unalive, pew, pew, unalive, and just that's how his style is, allegedly, okay? So then that's what happened on Sunday. On Sunday, if you guys don't already know, I plan out my content. I plan my content. I know what I'm going to do. I knew everything exactly that I was going to do with regards to my content on my channel with the SENZO MEYIWA trial. We were going to watch, well, not watch, okay, I watched. I memorized everything, and then I was going to react to the Netflix documentary while we waited for court to resume on the 21st of July, 2025. That was the plan. That was the global plan. And Kwanazi said, I am gathering everybody, okay? YouTube channels, reactional channels, even channels that don't even talk about me. Today's the day you're all going to know my name, okay? And then all the things happened in KZN, as General Sevilla calls it, a tiny little corner. So it happened in KZN, and then the Mastermind went to KZN, Newcastle to be precise, and they met with Absalom Zungu. that is kind of the long intro. If you didn't know how Absalom Zungu's story came about to be a part of media, how Absalom Zungu came out and to speak for himself. And those who got to watch the video, because I do understand not a lot of people, but not everybody understood isiZulu, and that entire video is in isiZulu. I did my best to translate it or interpret it for you, because Jonas is not in the building, so Jonas didn't do the interpretation. I did my best for you, just to give you a sense of what is going on. But overall, what you guys need to know about Absalom Zungu, he's a man who can speak for himself. He did not look like he feared for his life. In fact, he allowed the cameras to record him. Then someone in the comment section said, "So we've got pretty much a good idea now of what Caesar Constable Zungu looks like now." And I laughed about that. But then he went full on video and he gave his story. And you can tell that he was so passionate about his story. Because, guys, imagine being accused. So the five accused are being accused of going all the way to the Kumalo home, the Spaza house, and then unaliving a national goalkeeper. And then when they were done unaliving him, accused number 4 decided, you know what, I want to run back into the house. And then Mzansi was outside doing absolutely nothing, if anybody asks me. And then accused number 5 just thought, you know what, this is such a boring job for me. I really just want to sit in the getaway car. But then nobody uses the getaway car because according to the witness that Gininda keeps talking about, who died, by the way, he's not alive anymore. That witness, Umakeleni, he saw 3 people run from the Kumalo home. One of them had dreadlocks, and he saw that one of them also had a gold tooth, and one of them was holding the firearm in his hand. I mean, Makeleni is a superstar, okay? He's a superstar because he can see in the dark, and he can not just see in the dark, he can see detail, and then after that, he can then remember. I wish I could remember when his statement is dated, because this is quite interesting. He's quite an interesting character. So he's the only person who was able to describe accused number 2, or should I say suspect number 2. But here's the shocker. We got to see Ubongani Ntanzi in the flesh, okay? And when we saw Ubongani Ntanzi during the local inspection, or inspection in local, depending how you want to call it, Ubongani Ntanzi is a very, very tall guy. He's actually pretty tall. One would be tempted to say he's taller than everyone. One would also be tempted to say he's very tall, taller than Brigadier Ubongani Nicholas Gininda. Now then, I go back into the people in the house. Would that not be the first thing they say? Because none of the people in the house could describe the second person, because he wasn't a ghost, but none of them could really describe him. They all just couldn't agree on a version, and they just decided, you know what, let's just stick to describing accused number 1. Never mentioned that he has a gold tooth. That Makeleni is going to take care of that outside, because he's the watchman, okay? I don't know if it's part of the neighborhood watch, but he was a very, very busy young man that night. Anyway, long story short, let me check the comment section. How you guys doing? That is how I'm going to dive into. That's how the 5 accused are falsely accused, according to the evidence that we are hearing. Okay. Of course, there are people who believe that the 5 accused are guilty as charged because Uzandi Umapopola pointed them out, and also Utumelo himself. Just for that version, I mean, they're guilty. Okay, they're guilty. They have a very colorful past. Therefore, they're very, 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 very guilty. Never mind that they went for a local inspection, and Mzansi gave a very graphic description of how they did things to him while he was handcuffed in the parking lot, because it's the Brigadier's MO. He loves parking lots. Why do I say that? Because Absalom Zungu says, Gininda kept calling and calling and calling. And then my son ended up calling, and then he said to me, let's meet up. Like, guys, would you call your father and say, let's meet up in an open area, and don't tell anyone you're meeting with your father? Okay, if it was me, okay, let me help the script writers. If it was me, if I was Zungu and I had some crazy idea to involve my father in my crazy lifestyle, I would go to my father's house. My father would be never suspecting that I've come home. My father would be like, okay, she's home. And then I'll come home with the whole Brigadier, and I'll say, you know what, Brigadier, my father is a very respectful man. He loves to respect people. So make sure you put on your full armor. Okay, put on all your medals. Put on all the colorful decorations you have. And then my dad is gonna say, Ganesha is here. Okay, and then they're gonna make you tea and coffee. And then I'm gonna lead the conversation. That's how I would do it. Okay. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts. How would you do it? If you were ever to have a temporary moment of insanity and then decide you want to take a brigadier to your father to engage in a conversation. Let me check the comment section, see how we're doing. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. Okay. Non Zugiso. Non Zugiso says, yes, Pakati England. Woohoo! We can hear you clear and loud. Okay, cool. That is confirmation that I absolutely messed it up yesterday. Now we have Utunani. No, Tunani says he can hear me as well. Thank you. Utando Lwenkosi says, yes, ma'am, Parati inside. Lalita says, hello, Mzansi Unfiltered. Hello, hello, hello. And we owe you big time. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I am at your service. All you have to do just to put a smile on my face, if ever you're wondering, is just hit the like button, comment. I love comments, okay? When you guys send your comments, they come through my phone like they're text messages. So it's like you've got direct access to me. And sometimes once in a while, I'll get those text messages, and you know what? I have a discerning spirit, okay? I can tell a troll a mile away. Sometimes they want to disguise themselves as non trolls, and then they try and make it cute. But I can see you, I see you. And sometimes I don't respond to all messages, but I see all messages. Yeah, so I wanted to point that out. Oh, I can also tell if you've watched the video from start to finish, because hello, I know my video. And I can tell this person is commenting from a place of, I didn't watch the video. And then it's like, if you watch the video, you will realize I say this at minute 8.42. I can even quote the seconds because I have the video. Okay? But thank you so much to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you to everybody who comments. Thank you to everybody who likes, who shares, everything, guys. Even sharing, even saving a video, it also does contribute to the engagement of my channel into the algorithm and telling the algorithm, oh my goodness, she is live. There's 108 of you here live with us right now. Pat yourself on the back. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. All I ask is that you also hit the like button. I'll be so happy. If you're trying to comment and you don't see the comment button in Newsflash, you're not a subscriber. It's so simple. Hit that subscription button and you can come inside, take a seat, and chat with us. Other than that, you're on your own. Okay, you're on your own. I can't help you with that. Okay, those are things that you have in your control. Next comment says, inside party with my like, guys. Please give Barbara a round of applause. Okay, I need you guys to just go ahead and let Barbara know that I appreciate her so much. She's a channel member, and I think she's one of my first channel members to hit, I don't know what color that is. We're just going to call it burnt orange. She's a channel member with a burnt orange icon. That means she has been a member for a very, very long time. I don't see the time. I don't see how long it is here on my screen, but I'll check it later. But I just want to personally say, Barbara Peters, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. It means the absolute world to me. Yay! And then we also have Putunani who says, we are deep, deep, deep inside Parati. What a revelation by the old men. They cooked until the pots burned. I think it's a case of that they took people for granted. They took the nation for granted. For example, like O'Sullivan, who was not at all mentioned, unless I'm wrong. Umkonazi never mentioned O'Sullivan, but he came guns blazing for Umkonazi. He came guns blazing, and in so doing, exposed himself. And I think that gone are the days where people just listen. People are now very, very analytical. And that's one thing I pride myself with this channel, in that we are analytical and we express ourselves. And we've always been quite respectful in the comment section. I barely have to delete comments. It's very rare. Even a troll, I'll let you live on. Because any comment is a good comment, okay, in the back-end YouTube world, okay? Any comment is a good comment. So it's always been respectful, and I always wanted to create a safe space for people to engage. And sometimes I see that people have a lot on their chest and they're like, where are you? Where's the video? And then I drop a video and then boom, the comments hit. So I absolutely love that for us. Thank you for contributing to the family. But yes, the old man, by the old man, respectfully, okay, Zungu Senior came into the chat and said, not on my name, not while I'm alive. You're not going to do this to me. Now we also have Obuhle. Buhle says, Advocate Ngomezulu knew what he meant when he said the state has no case against the accused. That is so correct. And speaking of Advocate Ngomezulu, we're also going to talk about Advocate Dehwa. Okay? The big white elephant in the room. Hello, Togo. Hello, hello, hello. We also have Percy. Percy says, just to digress. Okay, you have permission to digress. Let's see where you take me. I have a request. If there is a team that might be going to visit Ubabu Zungu, please can you let me know? I want to contribute something for Ubabu Zungu. It's from Enhlizweni Yami. Oh, Percy, of course. That is such a great gesture. I also sent a message very similar to this. And I said, guys, let us know next time so that, you don't leave us outside. Don't close us outside. Because I think, he's taken the hearts of many, especially since we can put a name, a face to the name, and now disassociate him from his son, Zungunizer. So this is a kind of noble gesture. I don't know how we can do it. I'll tell you how it works with YouTube. YouTube, what are these things called? Super thanks. Super thanks. If you super thank me today, the super thanks doesn't come to me. It comes to me on the 21st of every month. That's when YouTube. No, not even today. If you super thank me today, what's today? July 10. If you super thank me today on the 10th of July, I'm going to see this money on the 21st of August. Did I say that right? Yes. So that's kind of a little thing we have to know in advance. So maybe we've got to figure out something else. I definitely would love to. I would have personally done it without even telling you guys. I actually did send a message. Let me know next time so that I contribute. Yeah, and that's something I can take with me from this live. I guess I'm gonna park it, the parking lot item, and then we can figure it out. Or you guys tell me how you want to do it in the comment section if you want to join Prissy. But Prissy, you're also free to send me an email or find me on like Facebook. I'm pretty good with Facebook messages, if I'm being honest. Email, yeah, those are my communication methods. So I will keep you posted. Thank you for digressing. We can see that there is Ubuntu, okay, with the members of the jury. That is such a nice gesture. I don't know if you watched the original live. It's when they spoke about him and that they were eating chicken, and then the journalist didn't finish his chicken, and he's like, "What? You're going to let that go?" And he took the chicken, and then he put the chicken in his bag. He had a bag with him, and he put the chicken in the bag. The chicken, not a live chicken, chicken piece, the cooked chicken piece. And he put the chicken in his bag. That was his, takeaway. Instead of them, and Jobs was like, they could have asked for, for them to pack it up for him, but he had already packed it up himself. Okay, he was like, I'm not letting this chicken go. So it was such a kind gesture, of Percy to bring that up. And also during that live, that's when I was like, oh, next time, just let me know. I also want to contribute. Barbara Peters says, I would love to hear conversations between Obaloi and the lead investigator, okay, the IO, okay, the prosecutorially led investigation. I bet you they haven't slept since Monday o'clock, okay? I bet you they're now looking for deleted items. I bet you Gininda's going through his section 204 to get rid of the phone call evidence that he ever called Absalom Zungu. That is so interesting. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of work, I think, for the defense to build a case just around this man's statement. And also, I believe Gininda is working very hard. And I believe this because he told us himself, unprovoked. that when they mentioned Dr. Mbatsane, he wasn't in court. You know, his favorite saying is, "I'm sorry, I won't be able to assist. I was not in court." Do you guys know that phrase that he loves to say? Go ahead and type it in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. He loves to say, "I can't assist. I won't be able to assist because I was not in court that day." But surprise, surprise, when Gumezulu mentioned Dr. Mbatsane, who ran to Rand Hospital to look for the doctor and look for records and couldn't find anything, and Brigadier Rwanda comes to it. And we know, okay, judging by the version of the police commissioner in the tiny little corner of KZN, General Kwanazi, well, judging by what he said that it's a lot of people in SAPS, it's a lot of politicians. I'm not saying Gininda is one of them. I'm just saying, if he wasn't in court, why was he looking for Dr. Mbatsane? And I'm going to leave it right there. Lalita says, I hope and pray Gininda gets arrested in court, just like how they arrested Advocate Defo. Now multiply that request times 3 times, times 100 times, because I've always said Advocate Defo didn't deserve that. Those police, it's not like at the end of court, then Advocate Defo disappears. He doesn't disappear. In fact, he used to do a lot of what's it called, press briefings or answer or do interviews after the court, if you guys remember those days. They could have waited patiently for him. I mean, they had the warrant of arrest since January. They could have waited 10 minutes for the cameras to be switched off, but in a dramatic takedown, they took him down. And I think that was a signal. That was a signal of don't play with me, okay? That was a signal of no further conspiracy theories. But the only problem with when they did that or how they did that is then they made us even more interested in the case because it was so dramatic. It was such a dramatic takedown. And then you have Umshel, although we all could see, nobody read in his rights. There was no rights read there because the camera was rolling. Somebody should subpoena that video and play it in court. I don't know which court. But here is the deal. So let's continue on. Mbusi says, Zungunizer is not zungunizing. And I wonder where he is. You know, Barbara says she would love to hear conversations between Baloyi and the lead IO. I want to hear conversations between Zungunizer and the lead IO. How is it going right now in their plan? Barbara says, our Jagaja never lied when he told them they were cooking day in, day out. One would be tempted to say that is such an iconic moment when he said that. The voice behind the mic says we failed Advocate Defo as a nation. Oof, oof, we've got to process that. I think I should do a whole separate Advocate Defo live. Okay? And Gushe says, I really want Newsroom Africa have to say. Okay, I really want to know what Newsroom Africa has to say about what Ubaba Zungu did to actually prove that the evidence in Judge Reto's courtroom is cooked. So I did a quick audit, okay? I did a quick audit to see if anybody else picked it up, if anybody mainstream picked it up. No, they're still too busy, okay? They're very, very busy with General. I have never watched so many videos with regards to SAPS. Some of the things that I had planned when in recess, I like to take that time to also catch up on other people's channels. I don't have time, guys. When I put out content, I don't have time to also watch everyone else's videos. And I have channels that I love. I have vlogs that I want to watch. In my head, I was like, I hope the vloggers have stopped vlogging because no one's gonna watch their vlogs right now. Everybody's busy with the KZN situation. And Cyril Ramaphosa says, well, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. I'm only going to talk about this on Sunday, and no one can make me talk earlier. It is what it is. Okay, so I did a quick audit to check to see mainstream media. What you gonna say? Any comments? Nothing. It's quiet as a church mouse. Very quiet, actually, if you ask me. And then another thing that I wanted to know. Speaking of Newsroom Africa, you remember Newsroom Africa did the video about Mr. Brown? Drop a 2 in the comment section if you watched the Mr. Brown video. Now, if you didn't watch the Mr. Brown video, it's gone. Okay? Newsroom Africa deleted it. Why did they delete it? Because the members of the public jury, and I'm not just talking Mzansi Unfiltered, I'm just talking members of the public at large. They ridiculed the channel. And I think this is one of the reasons why I took on calling out a specific reporter anytime they misreport what happens in court or they summarize it into a tiny little version, biased version, which is not a true reflection of what happened in court. I took it upon myself to consistently call it out. And the reason I did that is so that we hold a newsroom channel accountable. And guess what? They took down that silly video about the guy who was kicked down by his aunt and then he was crying and then he happens to know Mr. Brown. And I don't know why people are saying this about Mr. Brown. He's a nice man. He's always smiling and he wouldn't hurt anyone. That video was so irrelevant to the conversation and speaks volume of the type of channel Newsroom Africa is. Listen, they were called to task. They were called to task. Okay? That was ridiculous. If you didn't get to watch the video, I actually have the video. But they deleted the video. I don't know why they deleted it. I'm glad they did for their own sake. I mean, imagine being referenced with that video. Anyway, so enough of that. I'm digressing. Barbara says, shout out to the grandkids. Yes, shout out to them. Sugar says, Cape Town Inside Parity. Good evening, family. Hello, Cape Town. Cape Town has opened, not Cape Town, the DA rather. The DA has opened a case. They went to the police station and opened a case against the whole police minister based on the allegation by the general in the KZN. Guys, it's a lot, okay? Now, let me sit on this conversation while we're on it. Should I divert into it? Okay, so I got some comments where people are saying, Patricia Mashale shouldn't have published it. Now look, Sunday Wolf stole the story. Oh, and then why did they tell? Now the defense is going to be ahead and know the story. Let's use the general as an example. If he had not mentioned what is going on inside Parati, the rot that is going on inside SAP, if he had kept to himself, went about his day, and never put on his special task force uniform, if he had never done that, nobody would have known. Would have gone under the radar, everything that's happening inside. The ANC wouldn't have had to retract their statements. The police minister who said in Parliament, loud and on video, I don't know, Mr. Brown, I don't know why people would say that. And then yesterday he had to pen down in writing because there's no way he was going to do a press conference and allow people to ask questions. Hell no. That's an act of a coward, but we are not there. He released a statement and all he said in the statement is, yeah, I do know Mr. Brown. He's an associate. He's a comrade. Oh, he's not an associate, he's a comrade. Then you think, in March, which is don't think it's March last year. No, March this year. He says, never heard of the man. Jigi Mkwananzi reveals text message interaction on WhatsApp. The police minister is found releasing a press release saying, yeah, I've heard of the guy. Yeah, I've heard of him. And then Kat is found with the phone inside the police station. But we are not there. Let's continue on. Where are we? Pity is in the building. Hi, Pity. Hello. Bring in the likes, family. Please do. Don't play with the likes like that. And then Barbara says, Kwananzi is the man of the moment. He is. He's the man of the week. He owns the week until Cyril speaks on Sunday. And Cyril Ramaphosa is like, man, what we're going to do? What are we going to do? But I'm going to cover that in a separate live, okay? We're going to talk that separately. Because it says none of the accused had a golden tooth, and the doctor confirmed that. Don't tell me that Judge Rata can't see Gininda's live. Judge Rata is the very man who said that, there's also grills. He's the one who brought that up, and Gininda ran with it. And the next time he was back on the stand, he was telling us all about grills. He had never mentioned that word ever. But then you see grills come as a plural. The photo shows one grill. But we are not there. Noza says, yes, Zunguinizer. And then Raymond says, let's like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please, please, please. It is very much the least you can do, and it is absolutely free. Absolutely free. The power is with you. Sianda says, I had to pause episode 3 when I saw that you are live. Got lucky this time. Thanks to insomnia. Why are you having insomnia? The country is on red alert and you're trying to catch some sleep. Welcome to the live. Thank you for watching episode 3. Make sure you go back to it and make sure you left a like there. Thank you for your support. Dimpo says Ramaphosa is to address both Mkonazi and the SENZO MEYIWA case. I didn't know that. And the 3 Mkulugu Jews to be arrested, Gininda Maloi and Rata. Okay. Then we have Zenoweta says, finally, we're done with the cooking. Do you think that we're done? I don't think so. If I was a mastermind and knowing the Mkulugu Jews, okay, prosecutorial led, and this is my opinion, I would not have released the video now. I would have released the video on the 21st when they're very, 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 very busy. Very, very busy. Right now, they have a lot of time on their hands. Don't believe me? Baloyi said it himself, okay? Dr. Sibanda said it himself. When they were waiting for Umnisi Wemvula to finish reading the documents, they went through the evidence, searching and searching and searching. All that does, guys, in my opinion, they have a lot of time. They have a lot of time to rebut what Zungunizer says. They will probably say he's not of sound mind. Look, he mixes up dates. He doesn't even know the dates. What else can they say? I'm yet to break down the video. So I listened to the video as a viewer today, but I want to dissect it from a place of I am a state Dondoni representative supporter. What can they do to tear down the statement? And then someone left in the comment section that is it a statement? So is it an affidavit? Or did he lay a charge against Gininda? And I think that's a very powerful question. That is very, very interesting. But I don't think he has a lawyer. Or at least I didn't hear anyone mention that. And I don't think they seek legal advice. So I don't know. If you're from the legal realm, go ahead. Type in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know. I don't have an affirmative place where I stand. So I've only reacted as a viewer. I don't have an opinion yet what I think about the entire video. Is it going to hurt the case? Is it going to help the case? Or is it going to disappear? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that there's an old man in KZN who went to the Newcastle police station and opened a statement to say, every day I'm watching SABC News and they're mentioning my name. And there's a man, his name is Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda. He is on the stand. He is on the stand lying, my lord. He is on the stand lying and dropping my name and saying I did something. If I did it, here is my ID. Flashes it on the screen. Like my heart gasped. Don't do it. Thank goodness they covered the numbers. And he says, this is my ID. This is my signature. Show me the statement they have in that courtroom. I want to see it. Actually, I think you should get a lawyer. Yeah. I think you should get a lawyer. Then that lawyer becomes his watching brief. Once he has a watching brief, will Gininda continue to reference him? I don't know. And do you know who has a lawyer that I'm thinking of right now? Is the state witness Rand in the Western Cape, in the case of the Jocelyn Smith case where she was kidnapped, trafficked. The 3 accused have been found guilty by Judge Ndim. Okay, shout out to Judge Ndim. That star witness, although that story has just died down, I haven't had any updates. She had her own lawyer, not the state. They actually got her own lawyer as a witness, and they advised her that in order for her to do her testimony, she must have her lawyer in court silly rant said, no, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'll be doing it on my own. And then she did, and then the going got tough. She didn't have legal representation with her in court. So I think Absalom Zungu actually needs legal representation. That is my opinion. I really do. He needs a watching brief inside that court. Yeah, I think that's what needs to happen. And this is me just thinking on the spot. Let's continue on. What it says, good evening, everyone. Barbara says, I love it so much. Dimpo says, yes, that's right. 66K in the building. If you are part of the 66,000 Mzansi Unfiltered channel subscribers, pat yourself on the back. Woo, Dimpo's calling me out. I did not celebrate this moment. So let's do it right now. You know what, guys? I realized you guys never hear my car horn. I was listening to my life. I'm like, wait, they never hear it every time I play it? Anyway, so thank you, Dimple, for the reminder. We hit 66,000 subscribers today. I'm so excited about it. I didn't celebrate the milestone because there was so much. Okay? There was a lot going on. What's going on? There was a lot going on. A lot of things were happening. And, it kind of slipped my mind. But I saw it. I saw the number change. And I was like, I didn't even catch it turn to 66. I actually have, by the time I saw it, it was at 66,033, aka 66,000 and counting, aka we're on the way to 70,000 subscribers. And I'm just so excited. It makes me absolutely happy, guys, and it allows me to dream. It allows me to want the number more. It allows me to want to grow. That was never my intention. Fun fact, guys, I only ever wanted 1,000 subscribers so that I could get monetized and continue to produce videos. That is all I ever aspired for. And then the numbers kept growing. I was like, oh, okay, I want 100,000 subscribers. It felt good that I can actually say that it's actually attainable. And it's only attainable. I can't do it. Like, I cannot subscribe to my own channel. Okay, the button is grayed up. Only you guys are here to support. So if you're watching and you're a ghost and you're watching, you haven't liked, you haven't subscribed, you can't even comment, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Go ahead, hit that subscription button. It makes me absolutely happy. Thank you, Dimple, for that reminder. John says, Rata must be punished more because the way he was arrogant, bullying the defense lawyers and assisting the witnesses in answering questions. I think they teach them arrogance. No, let me not paint everybody with the same brush, because Judge Ndim is not like that. The reason I was almost tempted to say that is because I was watching Judge Mbenengwe. Oh, well, he was caught with his pants down, figuratively or literally. I don't know which is which, sending each other photos. Send me a photo and take your top off. What? A whole judge? Are you kidding me? But you know what? They're entitled to their fantasies and things that they want to do after work. But they shouldn't be attempting to do it with somebody at work. The system is messed up. Okay, Mkonazi said it. The system is messed up. He was very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. But Naza says, may the soul of Lalazla rest in peace and rise in glory. Mkulugutu Palati says, Aisha, Mrs. Aisha, Mkulugutu Palati inside Sangena, see Mkulugutu. Kwenzakala, I wonder. Bazakuthini Commissioner. That is so, so true. And then the next comment says, what? Oh, they did not unpack their lives before cooking. No, they did not. They're flying the plane as it's going and it's really messing up. And the more they keep trying to add ingredients, the worse it sounds to us members of the public jury. Okay. Next comment says, you are the one who made me follow this case. Really? You're the one who made me follow this case. Have a good one, Tanda Sam. Good evening. I bet one day we will all celebrate the victory. We are almost there. Our goal is with us. Oh, thank you so much for this message. I also got another message yesterday, and I was gonna respond to it. Person said they had a break-in at their house, and they haven't even rushed to buy another TV. They just wait for my upload. I was like, wow, guys, thank you for sharing these stories with me. And now you remember, I have to find that comment because I want to respond to the fact that the Gulugujus got into their home. 375 is imminent. The Gulugujus must be arrested. We have a brand new channel member, okay? Brand thanking you. Thank you for becoming a member. Tafita, this brings me so much joy. Neville is also in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Action says good evening. John says, I pray that the defense lawyers will stop to be stubborn and lay charges against the court, prosecutors, and Gininda. How can you allow hearsay in a high-ranking court case like this? And this is not even hearsay; it's triple hearsay. According to the statement, is that Absalom Zungu and Absalom Zungu is telling a story in his statement. He's not the first, not first responder. He's not the first person who heard the Nganiwani over there in the family drama. And he said, guys, did you pick that up? He says he is Bongani Danzi. He's related to Bongani Danzi. Bongani Danzi is his nephew. And Umozi Severe is his neighbor. Wait for it. He doesn't know accused number 3, 4, and 5. And most importantly, he doesn't know accused number 5's girlfriend. What business does he have knowing the girlfriends of such young people? That's what he said. And I believe him. Now, as for Zungu, Zungu has a lot of explaining to do. Zungu has to explain why on earth he implicated his cousin. If Bongani Danzi is Zungunizer Senior's nephew, that makes him Zungu's cousin. That makes him Zungu's brother. That makes Zungu a very, very shady character. But we'll continue listening on. We also have Unoza. We're serving a living God who does not sleep, no slumber. Something is cooking and it's almost ready to serve. Okay. This pisses Rudder off. Now he'll have to change his judgment. He's going to have a judgment ready. I wrote this in a comment. He's going to have his judgment ready on the 21st of July to say nobody should even talk to him about this video. He doesn't even want to hear about it. Watch this space. They're going to find a way to not have Zungu's statement or anything to do with the video enter that courtroom. Watch and you'll say I told you. I just entered with a like. Thank you for entering the building. John says, now Gininda and his police team, Baloy, Sibanda, Judge Rata, they are in a conference call trying to strategize the next move. We need someone to come forward before the court resumes. Advocate Defo's arrest was planned. He survived it, even those horrible things they did to him. Thank you for the twos. Thank you for the twos. I see them. Sianda says, Baloy and Gininda must be tatazelling. Ezra fields questions from the JP. Our good judge must be fuming. Alf says, all of a sudden, everyone's safety was compromised by Umkwanazi. People are taking chances. Woo! That was a gub food story. Which was the Ganewale? It surely was. Whoever decided to be the scriptwriter in the SENZO MEYIWA trial accused person docket is a horrible scriptwriter. Horrible. And they didn't test the script. You know, you've got to test drive your script with a small audience and then see how that audience reacts before you put it to the masses, before you charge people. They should have tested their script. But the thing is, they tested it amongst themselves as policemen, and they're already like not thinking creatively. And I'm not talking of the entire task force. I'm just talking of these specially hand-picked members of this Nganewani. They're all not thinking critically. They're all thinking promotion. And they're just making so many mistakes. And we keep seeing the mistakes over and over and over again. We have Sergeant Mahola, Mamfundisi. I remember her on the stand saying, no, we only meet in the parking lot. Yeah, we don't trust anyone inside the station. She said that out loud. She said it. That is the reason. But we know from Moses Sevilla's demonstration the real reason they like to be outside. And then the next comment says, you will get away with it 99 times, but the 100th time, oh, that's powerful. Next comment says, are we collaborating or corroborating the interview given by Absalom Zungu since it's not a hearsay? That's a fair question. Let me see. Are we collaborating or corroborating? It's not hearsay because he said it himself. He then went and said it in front of the police commissioner, okay, who signed and dated the affidavit. We know the affidavit exists because Sunday World ran to go see it, okay, and Patricia Mashale shared a copy of it. So the affidavit exists. The question is, will it be accepted by the court or will the court throw it out? I don't know. This is a developing story. Sevenzile says, Tsima. Hello, Umkulagatu. Next comment is, Mzansi is unfortunate. You'll be shocked that the defense is in its slumber. Was this comment deleted? Why can't I see it? Okay, so Tepo says, Mzansi, it's unfortunate you'll be shocked that the defense is in its slumber. These are not the kind of things the things that should have uncovered, not Sunday World. I can't see your comment well. Okay, let me try again. Mzansi, it's unfortunate you'll be shocked that the defense is in its slumber. These are the kind of things they should have uncovered, not the Sunday World. There you go. I agree. I do agree. Yeah, affirmatively. Let me say it with my chest. One thing that General Kwanazi has taught us is to speak loud and clear and with your chest, okay? Say what you mean and say it once and let them scatter. So, yes, I do believe, okay? I don't know why the defense. No. Okay, wait. There's no way the defense could have looked for Absalom Zungu. There's absolutely no way before the state case has finished because Absalom Zungu is a state witness. And Absalom Zungu is a very, very wise man. He says, if I was subpoenaed by Gininda, let's go with Gininda's Ganewane. If I wrote that affidavit, why did Gininda not send a vehicle to come and pick me up? Okay, sir, okay. To come and pick me up, and then the driver will show me the letter that says the court wants to see you, aka a subpoena. I love how he phrased it, okay? The driver would show me the vehicle, and of course I would go to court. He says nothing about being afraid of being inside the court. He says, of course I'd go to court. And everybody knows once I get to court, hello, I literally have to point out the accused. If I am the one who wrote the statement, but I never wrote that garbage statement, and in fact, here is my signature. Do you see my signature? Do you see it there? Like when Job says, do you see my screen? No, he said, do you see my signature? He shows the signature. He had a handwritten version of his signature on his notepad, okay? And then he also showed the signature. Do you see that the signature matches on my ID? Do you see that? Now, show me the signature in the court statement. Somebody better show me that signature. And it better look like this one. I bet you it doesn't. Oh, let's not even stop there because I know them Gulugutus who could have forged my signature. Since that Zungu when it comes to my house, he could have stolen one of my signature documents and spent 4 years trying to master it. But there's one thing on this earth that you can never fake, and those are my fingerprints. Show me my fingerprints, and I'll show you a liar. Those are the words of Absalom Zungu. Well, at least this is a translated version. So since it's a translated version and interpreted version, I can add salt. Okay, I can add and remove. But basically, you catch the concept. You catch what he was trying to say. Okay. Now, Neville says, congratulations on 66K. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Honestly, I am so grateful. Seppo says, it's so unfortunate that the poor accused persons Defense lawyers are in slumber for the Sunday World to uncover this bombshell. No, let's say that correctly. Let me correct you one quick second. Let me drink some water. Sunday World did not uncover this. Okay, I explained this at the very beginning of the live how this happened. Sunday World is Mgulugudu, okay? They Mgulugudu the story and then put it out before the actual story in the Daily Sun, the video. Sunday World has got nothing to do with it. Sunday World is also the newspaper that called Patricia Mashali the real mastermind when they were reporting that Gininda fears for his life from Patricia Mashali. I mean, it's quite shocking how this works. But anyway, and they never contacted Patricia Mashale for her opinion if she's, after Gininda, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, we're on the same page now. Okay, perfect. So Sunday World needs to be held accountable for them Kulagojo behavior. Neville says it was okay. Thank you, Neville. I've been waiting to do that whole lecture. It was the Daily Sun that covered the story, and they did not discover. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's. I'm going to read this so that it's on the record because I think the record is not clear. Okay. And that is the perception that just because it's a newspaper article, then therefore they broke the story. No. That's why we're holding this other channel that always sits in the courtroom accountable when they're being biased. Okay, let me read Neville's comment. She says, it was Daily Sun that covered the story, and they did not discover it. Patricia and Jabs led them to him. Well summarized. I love it. Okay, I love it. And I think you did it in under 60 characters. You are a very good summarizer. I, on the other hand, would have dragged that out for 2 paragraphs. Maybe sort of I'm like Gininda. No. I'm much better. I can conclude. Neville says, this was after Mr. ABSOLUTELY Zungu reached out. There we go. Everything is clear. Kilivohile says, 2025, you are so good to us. Yes, it is. Sianda says, the lies for promotion allegations must be true. But how many times have we heard Gininda say so? And so has since been promoted talking about his witnesses. Why do I feel like we need to do a list on these witnesses? Oh, Sianda, you have uncracked. You have cracked, not uncracked. You have cracked the case. Neville says, I remember thinking that the police don't trust police. How can we? Oh, I remember thinking that if the police don't trust police, how can we possibly trust them? Go open dockets and think that you're safe. Really? Pinky says, I'm wondering if Madlala and Twala watch their best friend Kim. What is on their mind with all the monkey manga? First of all, I don't think he's their best friend or was their best friend because they would have told the real eyewitness account by now. If I was Utumelo Madlala, let me tell you what I would do with this story, okay? If I was Utumelo Madlala, or maybe Umtogo Twala. First of all, I'd have a YouTube channel. I'll make sure it's monetized. I would get to 1,000 subscribers with ease because, people would subscribe to the channel. And then I'll post video updates. I'll talk about my friend. I would have my friend's legacy and memory live on. Are you listening, friend Dumelo? This is what friends would have done. Carried the legacy of their friend, not hide. Because they literally disappeared off the face of the earth. I can understand Kelly and why she's moved on in her life. She's had more children. She probably had multiple other relationships. So she's not in the business of trying to keep Senzo's legacy alive. But those two friends, shame on them. Shame on them. Next comment says, hi, Mzansi Unfiltered. It's from Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte says, congratulations on 66,000 subscribers. All the best. I hope Section 274 is going to be effected come the next court session. It's about time. Oh, we can only wait. We can only wait. Oh my goodness. Oh, great. I completed all the comments. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to see, because I noticed that when I play a video, it doesn't really play well. So I want to do kind of like sentence by sentence translation, or we react to Ubabu Zungu. Let me know which style you guys want us to do. In the comment section over here, I'm going to drop my, okay, that didn't work. I'm going to drop, I'm going to drop a link if you want to come up and say something, if you want to come up and vent, if you want to come up and express yourself. Let's do that, okay? Let us do that. Now, just give me a second. I just need to pin this comment. Let me try one more time. Why is it not working? Sorry, 1 second. I'll be with you in a second. Okay, I'm going to do it from my phone. It's not working on my screen. Talk amongst yourselves while I try and update myself. Great. This is why I don't pick up my phone. YouTube sent me an email. What are they saying in the email? Oh, okay. Wish I could tell you what they're saying, but they told us it's a big secret. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But anyway, I'll go back to that email. I got distracted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't leave the building. Okay, let me go to my live. Live me. How do I get to my live? How do I get to my live? Live. Okay. Guys, I am lost to find my own live. Okay, there it is. We are live in the building. There is the comment. I need to pin it. Perfect. Done. Putting the phone away. I'm back, okay? I'm back like I never left. You have my full attention. Okay. I think Marcia says, our freedom is coming tomorrow. I don't know why I said that, but that's not what your comment says. I felt a little Serafina moment there. Now you're making me get an idea to do a video for my shorts. Watch this space, watch this space. Alf says, it is not even Sunday, but Sunday world is. You have a point, Alf. Alf, you have. Because they were gullible, they couldn't wait for the next Sunday. They were like, no, we're releasing it now. And we've got to do it before Patricia Mashali releases it because we want to break the news. And they even wrote exclusive. Exclusive theft is what they should have wrote. Anyway, Unfiltered, can the rot be arrested? I'm so torn apart for Obabozong. Unkulunkulu amubiyele. 21 May Judge Uncle. Must throw the case away. Okay, let me answer your question. Can the rotten Nkulunkulu Jews be arrested? Can he get justice? He didn't open a case. So it depends what that statement is. Did he open a case? Or did he just make a statement that he said, hey, can you add the statement to docket 363? If that's the case, then there's no case. No one is going to be charged. It's up to the judge and friends to actually do their legal work and don't and code section what and cite cases. I feel he should have got a lawyer. I still stand by that. I feel he needs a lawyer. But unfortunately, in the world we live in, not everyone can afford a lawyer. Not everyone can get a lawyer. I'm not counting his pockets, but I'm just trying to think. He needs a lawyer. He needs legal representation, and he needs justice for his name being torn or dragged in the SENZO MEYIWA trial. Actually, he needs compensation. Yeah, let's escalate. He needs compensation for being involved in this, and he needs to charge his son. Can there be a case? I don't know. I don't know. That's for the NPA, the same NPA where George Murray is at. Anyway, let's see if we can play this video. Hold on, okay? I made a mistake. I have to find it again and share it with you guys. So sorry. Okay, 1 second, okay? Do you see my screen? Do you see me now? I don't know why the tab looks like this. Normally it's not like this. That's why I pressed the wrong button. So, did you guys hear the sound though? Did you hear it well? Let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I hope you guys got to hear the sound well. Bring back Advocate Therefore. Now let me see how I want to position myself on the screen. Do you want it to be like this? Nope. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna play it again properly.
promotion uthole nemali futhi enkulu ingane nje singasas
So he's talking about his son. To those who don't understand, he's talking about his son, and he says, you know, every time he was here, he was always talking about a promotion, always talking about a promotion, going on and on about a promotion. And he said to him, you know, you have to earn your promotion, be proud of your promotion. So this to me tells me he's an honest man, and that his son wanted to take shortcuts into getting promoted in the South African Police Services. Now, do shortcuts happen in the South African Police Services to get promotions? Yes or yes? Yes. Okay. The only answer is yes. Why do I say that? We've got the Brigadier, okay, Brigadier Dineo, who's presently facing charges for corruption with her other gang of corrupt brigadiers, allegedly. Okay, their case resumes August 13th, and the charges are with regards to her coming into the police services and entering inside Parati and being a brigadier right away. Okay, she entered the police services as a brigadier, as it is alleged as a favor to her father. Does that make sense? Let me know your thoughts.
uzofaka ngoba uhamba uthunywa sorry nomkhuhlane noginini uyasuka lo mfana mayebuyile ngenilanga
I didn't understand, but the Jonas you help. Did you call me Jonas? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying, okay? Jonas does this so smoothly, and I don't know how he does it. Like, I was editing, and I'm like, man, this is a lot of work. This is hard. But I couldn't stop because I would see the comments saying, yes, I'm waiting for a translation. Like, oh my gosh. So I had to finish the job. So I don't know if you got to see the clip where he coughed. And they were like, he coughed, and then he says, I'm so sorry, I'm sick, you know, I'm sick. And they're like, Daisy, son, why couldn't you edit that? And so it feels to me like this entire video is just what do you call it? A B-roll. I just feel it's like a B-roll. No editing was done, no subtitles were done. It feels unprofessional. In my honest opinion, I feel it was unprofessional, but it doesn't matter. We're not looking for bells and whistles. We were looking for the message, and the message was translated, and I think members of the public jury appreciated the message. But I feel that the channel should have, not the channel, the reporter or the editors should have done better with their editing skills. And they should have hired an actual editor. If they're not in the business of editing videos and only in the business of editing text for print, they should have hired an editor to actually edit it. There was no rush to get it out. It feels like a rushed job, in my opinion. That's what I thought when I was watching it. But let's continue. Let's continue. It's buffering. I hate that it's buffering. And I don't know why. I really cannot figure it out. Let me see the comments. Da, da, da. They thought Ngomezulu was crazy when he narrated what happened. They really did. I didn't. I remember doing a video. I remember being so shocked I did a video. And that video did very well. Charlotte says Mr. Zungu must sue Gininda. He must sue his son too. Add his son as well to that. Let's try the video one more time. I hope it has finished buffering.
Mangacela wena nje indlela pha amaphoyiseni ongani omunye umuntu sifihle ngomunye umuntu ngithi wena unomuntu ofanele bawukhuma wena nala uyokwenza ubhaliswa uJen Gininda ubhaliswe ngokhuma ngasana
Hold the line. Hold the line. How did I not hear this the first time around? So, Zungu Senior, Absalom Zungu, is having a conversation with his son, Sizwe Skhumbuzo Zungu, okay? And Zungu is saying, his son is saying, hey, he's giving him the plan, okay? He's giving him the script, and he's telling him, so let's go by Kumalo, okay? Just call yourself Kumalo. And the father's like, why would I want to do that? He goes, no, so that, our identity is not entirely out there. Just go with the flow, okay? Go with the flow. Gininda said he's going to take care of everything. And the father said, no, I'm not going to do anything like that. And then what does Gininda do when he phones? Here goes.
Angifuna ukuthizela angifuni lutho ngiyasebenza ngisukuseje ngihamba atugininda mzilikazi kamashoba uGininda mzilikazi kamashoba ninjani niyaphila ngithi mina sorry ushaye wrong number angisiye mina mzilikazi kamashoba ngakwabani kanti wena ngithi mina ngakwaZungu ethi
Okay, I don't know how I missed that part. I must have been so excited listening to the video at the beginning. I totally missed that. So, Zungu told his father that you should go by the name Kumalo. And then Jiggy Gininda picks up the phone, like the brave brigadier that he is. Okay, I wish that he had his phone and we knew what phone he was calling from. And then we do a section 205. That's what I would do if I was to investigate the statement. If I was the statement at the Newcastle, I would have had a section 204 by now from the magistrate so that we can't get it. 204. Anyway, so he says, after his son spoke to him about that, oh my God, guys, sorry, I'm processing this as we're talking. Gininda then phones and he answers the phone and he says, hello, Kumalo Gamashobane. And Zungunizer says, sorry, wrong number, because I am not a Kumalo. I should be serious. Okay, I should be serious. Okay, he says, sorry, wrong number. I don't know why you're calling me Kumalo. I am not Kumalo. And Gininda is caught, right? And he's like, wait, what? Who am I talking to? And he says he's speaking to the man himself, Zulu. Okay, that's where they are. That's where we are in the translation. Let's go. I guess we should do it sentence by sentence.
uyini nalono iphoyisi ngithi uzalwa yimlo uzalwa uqinisele uzalwa lomntana lo.
Okay, so I'm buffering there. So Zungu says It's all good. At least we're getting accurate reporting backed up by these videos you share. Thank you so much. And Neville, this is hilarious. She's because when I read the sentence, I'm like, oh, wait, what? She wants this Zungu to be promoted to a sergeant. Why would she want that? See, this is what happens when you don't read the full sentence. Then she says, when he joins a gang in prison. I also want to do a video. The video I wanted to do of what happens in prison. Shocking video. I saw it on TikTok. Like, what? What do you mean? But we are not there. Okay. So Zungu is on the phone with Gininda. Gininda calls him Kumalo and he says, I'm not Kumalo. I am Zungu. And he says, you are Zungu? And he says, yeah, I'm Zungu. And he says, who is Caesar Zungu to you? Constable Zungu. And he says, that's my son. That's my boy. And he says, that's your son? He says, yeah, that's my son. What do you mean that's your son? He's my biological son. I'm his father. That's how the conversation went. And, and then he explains to back it up that he's the father, because we all know Gininda is not in the business of DNA, okay? Allegedly. Let's continue.
Bese ngithi mina umtshela ukuthi uzalwa yimi ngisho license le training lapha befundwa umtshela sebu license wenzelwe yimi kwale license a driver ngayo.
Okay, so he says he's my son. Okay, I've been an integral part of his life. Let me give you an example. Even when he came back from police training, I, his father, okay, Zungu, Absalom Zungu Senior, I am the one who helped him get his driver's license. The driver's license he's using right now, it is I myself. So I'm not sure if he's saying he taught his son how to drive or he went with him to get the license. That's not entirely clear. Okay, then let's go to the next part. Let me check your comments. Guys, and if I'm saying something wrong or if I'm leaving anything out, this is group work, okay? We're doing a group effort so that everybody knows exactly what Absalom Zungu says, okay? Alf says, I read that comment already. Next comment is, it hurts ukuzwa ubaba ozikhalayo esho amazwi akanje kwindodana yakhe usikhumbuzo mfethu ngeke ulibone izulu. You know what, Nati? You're going to make me digress. And the reason I say that is when I was listening to this video first time around, this is the second time around. When I was listening to this video first time around, I thought of Absalom Zungu as a father, just as a father. And that he has to walk around knowing that Caesar Zungu is his son. He has to walk around and say, my son went to court and lied on the stand. What does this do to him as a father? What does this do to him for estima sake, okay? What does this do to him? But one thing I noticed, he did not disown Caesar Zungu. He didn't disown him. He just said, stop coming to my house. But he did not disown him. Even when he talks about him, you don't hear rage. You don't hear disgust in his tone. I can't speak for him. I wasn't there. If I was interviewed, I'd have asked different questions. I'd have had a whole segment on Caesar Zungu so we understand, like what happened to Caesar Zungu when he was young. How was he in school? Was he a good kid? Was he generally a good kid? Why does he hang around Iskabango? Okay, why does he hang around Umkologo Jews over there at the hostel and give out his firearm? I would have wanted to understand more intricately on who Caesar Zungu is, but at the same time, I understand the goal of this video is, of course, to clear Absalom Zungu's name that he didn't do a statement. But I would have also done this behind the scenes kind of questioning. I should do it the whole podcast. But anyway, that's what I would have done with Absalom Zungu. I would have built the story and I would have built it, okay, Caesar, how many kids do you have? He's your child number what? Okay, he's your child with wife number 1, 2, or 3. Oh, okay, he's your child with wife number 2. Okay, cool. Is he the only child? Is he the first child? Is he your only son? Like, I would have needed to hear more of the story. We know with Moses' father speaks about his son and he breaks down. Just the mention of his son brings that man so much emotion. So Is Absalom Zungu angry with his son? We don't know. We don't know. But you guys tell me what you picked up, because we can only pick up from the cues that he gives.
Mina ngikhokhe imali zalapho ngimenzela ngoba eyingane yami. Ebese uGininda kimi, hayi kulungile ngizoke ngizwe kuwe. Avala ifoni. Yahamba naye bishena nje ufoni la. Manje sacela ukuthi sibane sihlangane lapha. Cela ukuthi baba ungatsheni
Oh my goodness, no way. I have always read your comments in a feminine tone. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Neville, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I misgendered you. Please accept my apology. What is section? So Charlotte says I meant section 174 and not section 274. So I'm just gonna give a quick summary of it. Section 174 means there is no case against the 5 accused. So when we go back to court on the 21st, the defense has the option. So an example I can use is what the Justin Smith trial, what happened. When it was now time for the defense to start their case, they did not start their case. They said, drop the charges, there's no case here. And the judge said, are you kidding me? A whole child is still missing. What do you mean I must drop the charges? We're proceeding. So at section 174, you put in an application as a defense for the charges to be dropped and the case to end and say there's not enough evidence around this. And then you're putting the application to the judge, and then the judge makes the decision to drop the case or not, based on the evidence so far, because the state would have closed their evidence, right? So then the judge can say yes or no. If the judge says no, then the case continues. So that is what section 174 is, summarized in layman's terms. Very, very layman terms. Ooh, Neville says, only a parent will understand the hurt this father is going through. I think you're right. I think he's hurt, and that he's hurt that his own son would do this. There was another comment in one of my videos that said he gave, loose translation, he gave birth to a dog and the dog is going to eat him. And it's so sad because it speaks to Uzungu, the child. What is wrong with him? Was he dropped as a baby? Did he hit his head as a baby? Did his father abandon him? Was he an absent father? Is this paid back to his dad? Was he a neglected child? What? Something happened there. This can't be just promotion. I can't imagine someone using their parent in such a negative manner to get a promotion. Whereas, okay, in the case of the Untouchables, the father, who is a brigadier, used his favors to get his daughter into the South African Police Services as a brigadier. So he elevated his daughter. That's how it typically works. What Zungu is doing, I've never heard of it before. It's very unique to these guys. And he's not only dragging his father into this, he's also dragging his cousin. He's willing for his cousin to get a life sentence. That's crazy to me. But anyway, let's continue.
So lokho kwenzeka emva kokuba igama lakho selimenyeziwe vele enkantolo.
Lingakamenyezwa nje uye. So emva kuba yena ethula ubufakazi. Balokho
Fana nento. Oh yeah.
Uyena ke lona ongibalalela bathi hawu ngezi aqala abantu bathi uma lokho wayena lo mfana ngaqala lapho ke manje ungasondela eduze kwasokhona manje ke ngifuna ukuya la uGininda ke uthi elanga niyalele la ngizwe uthi uGininda.
Okay, so this part is talking about, first he talks about the phone call, that there was a phone call that we should meet up in an open area, and he's like, I'm not doing any such thing. Okay, I'm not meeting nobody. And how dare you tell me to not tell anyone, not tell the police, and not tell anyone? It's already sounding suspicious and dizzy, okay? And then now he's relating that he's just minding his business, watching TV. Imagine watching the SENZO MEYIWA trial and then you hear your name being mentioned. And not only being mentioned, but your statement that Gininda came to pick you up and then you went and then you gave the statement. He's listening to this. And this is what he's accounting here. So let me quickly go through the comments. We went through this one. Next comment says, it means that Gininda was hiding behind the mask, pretending to be advocating Chiago. That's why Chiago is not called to court. What? Okay, that's a whole digression. That's a whole other video. This comment says, promotion. Can you imagine? Not even promising him money. Neville says, thank you for the explanation. That is why we always come back to your channel. It is my absolute pleasure. Money was stolen from their house and Caesar was accused and chased away from their home. Since then, he wanted revenge against his father. Oof. That family is drama. That's all I'm going to say. Caesar is a problematic child. Caesar is a problematic child. He's a problem. Let me end this video here. I'm going to do a part 2. Okay, let me go ahead and end this video right here. I'm going to come back. I want to listen to the beginning again. I can't believe I did not hear it. But let me end this video here. If you've made it this far in our live, okay, especially if you're watching from the replay, gang, make sure you drop a white heart in the comment section if you stand in solidarity with ABSOLUTELY ZUNGU. Does he deserve what his son did to him? Why couldn't they just do this without involved? Well, they involved the private keys. So clearly, there's no consciences involved here. This is strictly promotion. What do you get if you're promoted from a constable to a sergeant? What do you get if you're promoted to a brigadier? What do you get if you are promoted to a national commissioner? What? This is a lot, okay? It is absolutely a lot. I'm going to end this video right here. Sianda says, guys, remember when we were asking how much was the alleged bribe used for this case? And a few smart people said it's no longer about protecting an individual, but the rotten system. It's so rotten. So it's absolutely rotten. Absolutely rotten. I think I want to close this video. I'm going to find a video to play because I'm in so much shock. I still haven't fully processed my final opinion of this video. But let me play you this and then we'll close out.
So what do you think happened?
Ulong wafika nesibhamu lapha. Ulong wafika nasibhamu. Wafika ediniwe bakusho lokho ukuthi ulong wafika ediniwe ngabingelelanga umuntu engena lapha. Ediniwe ukuthi uZandi wayekade ngamtholi. And the day before uZandi walala ngithi kaKheli. Kwalala uZandi nomthoko noSenzo no Kheli. Babelela ndawonye. And ulong wafika lapho wabona ukuthi awukhona komjito khona la. Umuntu wamangimtholi. Wafika ngalo ngebusuku aphinde wahamba. Wabona khona abantu abawuthuthula manje. uSenzo noKheli ushuthi umthoko noZandi. Uvela ibaselekile ubuya ngakusasa nje vele udiniwe. Uthi kushuthi awenziwe ibhari yena umuntu wakhe uyaxhoshwa ushuthi khona umshayashaya. uSenzo umfakele ushuthi umjito wakhe oseDurban. Isuka lapho ke leyo nto isuka ngokuthi le mjito wayidiniwe. Ekwali waxabana nalo nomuntu wakhe kuZandi. Kanti bexabana kwasuka umsindo sidonsa isibhamu nomjidi ngoba inhlamvu yokuqala yaqhuma yashaya phansi ashaya phansi yazolimaza uZandi la asuka lapho khixixi kubanje isibhamu ukuthi kwenza kanjani kudonseka itrigger iyona into efanele iyochazwa ngoba sasingasaphethe wena kuphela asekubangiswana.
So are you saying that you don't believe what they are saying in court?
Ayikho ngoba le besho ayikho mina ngathi ngifike eGoli ngatshelwa enye indoda abanye abantu statement sami sikhona ngikhuluma into statement sami sikhona ecourt basazongibiza omunye oyikhulu naye shuthu oba involved ekutheni istory fanele simiswe kanjani wathi ndodana watlalela la ngikutshela lento ekhulunywayo lo izikhulunywa ukuthi ngene igebengu lapha ayikho lonto ndodana kwenzela imedia usenze bethandwa abantu kakhulu kwenzela ukuthi umsindo ungasuke eSouth Africa into eyenzekile nje udubuleke elamula uZandi nesoka lapha ixatshwana ongitshela kanje lo muntu wakhuluma nalabo abasendlini bayazi omunye umuntu omkhulu naye wayekhona kukhulunywa le ebikelwa nangalo daba usewenzekile.